hello, and welcome to a new episode of Cultural Magazine, where we bring you the latest taking place around the nation. Let's go find out more about what's in store for you in this episode.
Minister of Culture Dr. Naveen Kilani inaugurated the exhibition Naguib Mahfouz Between the Alley, Work and Friends at the Hanagir Arts Center at the Opera House as part of the Ministry of Culture's celebrations of the 111th anniversary of the Nobel writer Naguib Mahfouz. The minister said the exhibition Naguib Mahfouz Between the Alley, Work and Friends is the beginning of various celebrations lasting for a month for the writer of creativity, Naguib Mahfouz, who was able to put the Egyptian and Arabic literature on a global rank. She added that Mahfouz is a great Egyptian symbol and stature. Therefore, a large number of events will be organized to celebrate him, including seminars, workshops, and screenings of cinema works that are taken from the spirit of the heroes of his novels. Moreover, the Ministry of Culture praised the excellent organization of the exhibition and the creative works it presents. For her part, the Minister of Culture decided that the exhibition will visit many governorates, starting with the New Valley Governorate, which will host the Egyptian Writers' Conference in its 35th edition. As for the journalist Tariq Al-Tahir, a member of the organizing committee of the celebration, he explained that the exhibition was organized due to the fruitful cooperation between a number of sectors of the Ministry of Culture, including the Cultural Palaces Organization and the Cultural Development Fund. It is noteworthy that the exhibition presents various works, including paintings of plastic art which are taken from the works of Naguib Mahfouz, as a number of documents related to the professional life of Naguib Mahfouz since his graduation from university until the age of retirement. The works related to his work experience in the three ministries of Education, Endowment, and the Ministry of National Guidance. The exhibit also includes books that were dedicated to Naguib Mahfouz. It is noteworthy that the activities of this celebration will last for a month, including organizing a conference entitled The Grandsons of Naguib Mahfouz, held at the Mahfouz Museum in Al-Azhar district, and a round table entitled I Am Surrounded by the Spirit of Naguib Mahfouz, an artistic presentation entitled Mahfouz's Cinema Journey, in addition to organizing a number of seminars in all the governorates of Egypt. The National Circus team won the silver medal at the Hanoi International Circus Arts Festival, recently held in Vietnam. Minister of Culture Dr. Naveen Kilani congratulated the members of the National Circus affiliated with the Artistic House of Folklore and Performing Arts in the cultural production sector for obtaining this award. The minister stressed that Egyptian creativity is present and strong in all international and global forums, which proves the Egyptian cultural and civilizational leadership, noting that one of the axes of the Ministry of Culture's work strategy is the Egyptian identity, which is achieved through the various participations of the artistic and creative troops from the ministry in all international events. For his part, the head of the Artistic House of Folklore and Performing Arts explained that the Egyptian team took part in the Hanoi International Festival of Circus Arts in Vietnam, in which they competed with teams from 5 other countries: Vietnam, Belarus, Canada, and Cambodia. The Egyptian participation won some great interaction with the Vietnamese public and praise for the professionalism of the national circus artists. This great admiration for the Egyptian team had a great impact on members of the team, so they presented some training performances for the students of the Vietnamese circus school. 60 Years of Art is an exhibition that celebrates the experience of the distinguished artist Ahmed Abdelaziz at El Gezira Arts Center. The exhibit is held under the auspices of the Minister of Culture, Dr. Navina Kileni, under the title 60 Years of Art at the Fine Art Center. The center dedicated its halls to his art to give the audience the opportunity to see the largest possible number of his creations, which reflect the artist's connection to his community. It is also a chance to present his identity and employ his atheistic vision and unique talent in producing a non-stereotypical artistic product that relies on the spiritual energy of the work that characterized his works with plastic fluency. Abdelaziz's artworks reflect the various solutions in adapting the material to his ideas and imagination. Dr. Ahmed Abdelaziz was born in the city of Shibinikum, Manufaya, in 1950. He graduated from the sculpture department at the Faculty of Fine Arts in Cairo with an excellent grade for his project on the October victory in 1973. He held many private and group exhibitions in Egypt and abroad and participated in many sculpture competitions in Egypt and abroad as well. He participated in the Egyptian plastic movement and represented Egypt in many international exhibitions and forums for nearly 50 years, like in Mexico, Germany, Italy, England, France, America, China, Brazil, Japan, Poland, Sudan, Mali, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Tunisia, Kuwait, Syria, and Iraq. Abdelaziz won many international awards, the first prize for sculpture at the General Exhibition in 1983, and the American Encyclopedia of Biography considered him Man of the Year for Arts General in 2002-2003. The University of Cambridge in England chose him as an international lecturer in the arts in 2004, and he has many holdings in Egypt and abroad.
Cairo Opera House is a cultural hub that attracts people from around the nation. It brings a lot of artistry and a lot of different art forms. Let's go find out more about the Opera House.
The Cairo Opera Company presented a selection of the most famous Neapolitans, Disney songs and famous musicals on Al Gumhuriyya Theater, directed by Sharif Ramadan and under the supervision of Dr. Iman Mustafa.
Make way, did not think that like a drum. You gotta love this guy. It's taking a flexion, some respect, I don't know what need. Now try to best say God. Rush out your son, please go on. Then come on me, kiss his brother. Praise God, strong as 10 regular men, definitely. He says the gulping horse, 100 bad guys who swore, who sent us gold to the low white Prince Ali.
First of all, many years ago, we did this kind of musicals. Maybe the new thing last few years is Disney songs. Maybe to get some new people to come to visit us in our opera house to listen to our music. And it's a trick, by the way, to get the people to listen to our voice by this way. They come to listen to Disney, and after this we put some musicals, some Neapolitan songs, some, and the people will understand this weird opera singing. That's very weird, really. One day I was in Broadway, and I saw how they are singing, how they are having fun during a very difficult performance. So when we get started this kind of work here, it was a pleasure for me to get a very good experience by the owners of this kind of music. Second, it's a very good and interesting for me and for my friends and colleagues to have this kind of music, because it's a bit different of our real work, that opera singing, but we can easily do this kind of singing. Today I'm going to sing something from Miserable, the song called Empty Chairs and Empty Tables.
Now try to best say God. Rush out your son, please go on. Then come on me, kiss his brother.
The concert presented some of the world-famous Disney songs with a number of old Italian songs. The concert included selections from famous Disney movie songs, including Frozen, Cinderella, Aladdin, The Secret Garden, Babel Palace, Beauty and the Beast, Pinocchio, as well as a number of international musical works.
When it comes to exotic type bubbles, I'll tell you,
The Disney is a selection coming from the very famous movie for children. With these sketches, we perform it with the background of the movie and a little bit performing like acting while singing. This is the first part. Of course, we present that for children and parents, mommies and daddies. And the other act, the second act, will do the famous also songs, very famous and lovely and favorite songs coming from the musical and movie, great movie. We are talking for the whole grade of the people here in Egypt, Egyptian people, such as children and of course the parents, and of course also for the whole who tastes the music, the singing musical. As you said, we choose many new songs this day. This event is very important. I will say a very short phrase. It's touched the heart. That's it.
Today's concert is very special because it reminds me of the past, my childhood. Plenty of the works that will be presented to us tonight are like Cinderella, Aladdin, Tangled, and the musicals as well that we love of Julie Andrews and many others as well. I think it's going to be real fun. I'm coming tonight with plenty of friends who are very special to the society. Maybe all of them are not directly linked to the music field, but they appreciate it immensely.
It's my pleasure to be here today, and usually these types of events actually have quite an impact on my personal life. The nature of my job is kind of a bit dry, shall we say, into science and technology and education and so forth. So such events, I feel like it's a relief. It brings so much joy and happiness, changes the rhythm of life for me. I am also interested in such events because my main field is education, so I always look at it from the perspective of how theater and musicals shape the personality and the identity of the audience, particularly if they are young or from the youth. Disney, it goes without saying, it has such memories, and for my grandchildren as well, my granddaughters love it, and I always enjoy watching it with them.
This is the Golden Ball! Who sent us all to the road like
It is worth noting that the Cairo Opera Company was officially formed in 1964 and presented many of the most famous international operas. Its repertoire includes more than 32 famous operatic novels, and its stars also participated in huge performances on the biggest theaters in the world and succeeded in forming a fan base interested in operatic singing as one of the most finest forms of arts. The songs in Disney movies often become just as popular as the films themselves, from nostalgia to immersion. Where these songs help set the tone and atmosphere of the scene, they can also help advance the plot or develop the characters. In some cases, music is also needed to foreshadow some future events. Shurul Bikir, Cultural Magazine.
You're still watching Cultural Magazine. Hope you're enjoying the episode so far, but there's more in store on this episode. Stay tuned.
The Cairo Opera Company, under the supervision of its artistic director Dr. Iman Mustafa, presented a selection from the world's most famous operas with the participation of the English pianist Greg Martin and directed by Haizam Tail.
Today we are presenting opera arias, so it is not like some of the other concerts. Sometimes we presented American musical theater or Neapolitan songs, like the folklore Italian songs. No, today is completely classic. Extracts from operas, so it is really interesting because this is our original singing. When we go to perform musicals or so, it's interesting and it's easier technically and it's so much fun. But we are fond of opera. It's our passion really. So today is a special moment with the solos, arias, and duets as well. I will be performing the aria of the Jewel Song, the aria of Marguerite from the opera Faust. It's one of my favorite arias. I've been trained to perform this role in Paris during my PhD program, and it's in French, and so I'm always proud to perform it because I really worked on the style and the technique very hard for years and years. So it's always a pleasure and a challenge. It's not an easy solo at all. So it's a pleasure. I'm happy to perform Faust today. It's very famous. It's called the Jewel Song or the Air de Bijou in French. And I'm performing as well a duet with Jolie Faizi, my colleague mezzo-soprano, Barcarolle, Belle Nuit. Actually, opera is something that touches the heart. Sometimes people are a bit scared to get closer and try to understand it, but when you have really the courage to start getting closer and understand, it is a complete passion. It is, if we can say, a whole showing off that touches really your heart, because it's not only voices that perform in high notes or some kind of agility or special abilities, but the whole opera performance is really something that takes you to another place with the showing of the voice, of course, but also the orchestra music, the music that has been put by the composer, with the drama, the acting, the set, the costumes, the decoration. Really, it's like a play, but it is to be sung, not to be talked. So it is a passion. And when people get the courage to get closer, then they are in love immediately, because it is really special. It's a whole meal with small different things, but they are all delicious. So when we get closer to opera, just try. you will be fond of. Musical theater is a bit different. It's also showing off, but it's lighter music, easier to understand. Both opera and musical theater, they have many themes that people know. We used to hear them in movies, in pubs, in many things. So many of the melodies, the themes, you have them in your ear. So just try to get closer. You will not leave it again.
The program included lyrical excerpts from the world's most famous operas, including La Bohème, Tosca by Puccini, The Marriage of Figaro, The Magic Flute by Mozart, Elixir of Love by Donizetti, The Barber of Seville by Rossini, Carmen by Bizet, as well as some works by Verdi and Lehar.
Today it's a little bit different than the last one that was here. It's duets and arias from the famous operas, and today I will sing O Malire Immortel from Opera Sappho. The composer is Gounod. This is a French opera, and one from the heart.